different video today. So I thought that we would do a get ready with me, which I'm going to do now. I need to finish off my makeup. I'm also going to do like a Q&A. I said to some of you guys on Instagram, have you got any questions for me? And I've had loads of really good questions from you guys. So I'm going to answer those. I might go in the sitting room to answer those questions just because it's more comfortable. But let's get ready. Okay, so I'm going to put on some perfume. I am going to talk about perfume in this beginning bit because I've got 4 new perfumes, all from Dossier. And I love perfume. I love the way it makes you feel. I love how, I don't know whether you get this, but sometimes a perfume can take you straight back to a memory. Like I've got one perfume and it reminds me of a certain job interview that I went to years ago. It's Marc Jacobs Daisy. I cannot smell that fragrance now. It's not that anything bad happened. It takes me straight back there. But I've got 4 of these new fragrances. So Dossier, what's really great about them, I'm already a customer. They have sent me these fragrances, FYI, but I'm already a customer. And I'm already a customer because not only for myself, but I've bought for other people, particularly at Christmas this year. I bought a lot for my family and for David from Dossier. And their perfumes are all made in France. They're all made from a place in France called Grasse, which is in the south of France, kind of near Nice. And it's where all of the top designer brands make their perfumes. Like Dior, from what I recall, they have got like rose fields there where they collect up the rose petals and make the perfume. Like all of the best brands make it. It's like the perfume capital of the world. So, and you're looking at £29 for one perfume. And it lasts a long time. But yeah, I've got 4 perfumes. I'm going to wear Ambery Cherry. This is like my, actually, no. I'm actually going to wear Powdery Coconut. This is a dupe for Tom Ford's, you know, the one that's something Soleil? And this is really nice. So I'm going to put on some of this just as we go, because it smells good. So yeah, just in general, not expensive. I think they work out at $39 US. You can buy them worldwide from what I know. Perfect as gifts, not expensive. They have got their own original fragrances as well as dupes. And they've got dupes for like Kilian, for Tom Ford, for Chanel, for all of the big brands. You can get dupes. And also, I really mean this perfume lasts. I put it on in the morning. Like I put on the Ambery Cherry one yesterday, which smells just like frangipane. Really, really strong if you like that smell. I put that on yesterday, took a shower, went to bed, and this morning I could still smell it on my skin. It's really, really strong, which I like, which means that you don't need to use that much of it. So a really good gift to get for someone. They are affordable, they last, they're very high quality, cruelty-free, non-toxic. You can also layer these. I share these with David. You can get male, female and unisex fragrances on the website, but I like to share these with David. You can layer them, you can create different scent combinations. They just go together. Hi, it's actually the next day because I was going to do the Q&A straight after getting ready yesterday, but I didn't because I was, I put up a post on Instagram. Like if you ever want to get involved in these Q&As and you have questions, follow me on Instagram because it's on Instagram stories that I tend to put out the thing where you can ask me a question. I don't really do it on YouTube because it's, on YouTube, the comment section's are like a nightmare to get your head round, but it's just so easy on Instagram because you get them all come through like separate little things. But yeah, the story was still live and your questions were still coming through, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna leave it till the next day. So here we are. Okay, so the first one is from KH Vantage, who has said, what will be your next daily since the RS3 is out? Guys, I've got news for you. I sold my Porsche. It's gone. I sold it about 3 weeks ago and I don't have any wheels right now. I mean, we've got the pool car that we share, but here's the situation. So that car, so I had the Porsche GT3, loved that car. Do I miss it? Yes and no. The reason why I sold it was we're obviously moving house. We've bought a new house. We're in the process of doing that. And that's going to be expensive, you know, like the house we've put the offer in and we're moving forward with. It's an older house. It needs a lot of work. It needs like 3 new bathrooms. It needs, excuse me, needs a lot doing to it, and it's going to cost thousands to do. And I was looking at this car you know, is in the garage all the time. And now is February, but when I sold it in January, I hadn't actually driven it since October. And when I drove it in October, it was to drive it to Porsche to get it serviced and back. I wasn't using it, and I've had it now 4 years, and it's done 5,145 miles. That's it. So, like, not a lot at all, and that will give you an idea of how much I was driving it. And the reason why I wasn't driving it is because it's a track car. So in my head when I bought it, I thought, you know, I'm going to use this car as a daily. And actually, in reality, I didn't enjoy driving it. It was a very rattly car. It was very loud. Like, to hear your music over the sound of the engine, you had to turn your music like up to like 1,000,000 decibels. It was, the suspension on it was like driving a brick. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't relaxing. You'd get people trying to race you. So every time you went out, you had to sort of like brace yourself for attracting trouble. And it was not a car that I felt like I could just waft around in and chill out in. It was a car that whenever I went out, I was like, oh, I want to drive that because I love that car and it's gorgeous, but I'm not in the mood for dealing with that today, so I wouldn't drive it. And I got some really good money back for that car, really good. And I was delighted actually by how much I got for it. And that money is going to go to bathrooms, redecorating the place, to new furniture. Like, the bathrooms are the main things really. And so that is why I decided to sell it. But to answer your question, we are looking at, once we've moved and all of that settled down and we've paid for everything on the house, we are already looking at new cars. I really want to get just a 911. Just go back to my roots. Just get a 911. They're comfortable to drive. They're chilled out. They're sporty, but you get left alone in them because they're not like, it's not like driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. And I want to get one in a colour called Moon Gem, which is like a pinky lilac colour. So I am going to do that at some point. David is looking at getting an Audi that's new out, and KH Vantage, you may have heard about this. I think he told me yesterday it's the RS5. It's new, it hasn't come out yet. He showed me it. He wants to get the estate version, and it's quite like chunky and like aggressive looking. We quite like Audis anyway, so as a daily we're gonna get that. The next question is from Viv Pham, who has said, is consulting difficult without David doing the financials? Are you just giving your creative input? So what I'm doing now, this month has just been so busy because I've done a couple of days consulting. I've got a couple more coming up in March. No, to be honest, it's not been difficult. I tell you why, because although David has quit, he's still like helping me out a little bit. He's like, I didn't sign up for this, I wanted to like fully quit. He is still helping out a little bit on the financials, but for the most part I've sort of just taken over all of it, and I'm not working that many days a month anymore, so it's not too much of an aggro. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. I'm really throwing myself into YouTube because I'm enjoying YouTube a lot more than when I had a job. YouTube was a stress because I never really had the time for it, and I'm addicted to YouTube, so I'm addicted to like uploading and what have you. But now that I don't have like a regular job, I'm really enjoying it. I'm just loving coming to chat to you all, so that's good. And Viv has also said, you said you're still into crafts. Are you still making jewellery or only investing in fine jewellery? Bit of both. I haven't actually made anything in a long time because I knit as well. I knit like clothing. I need to wear some of that actually. But I haven't done anything in a while because for the last few months it's been so busy that I haven't had the time. Like, to knit, once I get into it, I need a good 2 to 4 hours spare of doing nothing in my day because it takes time, you know. I guess I'm like an intermediate level. I knit quite fast and I don't need to look anymore. When I'm knitting, I can like watch the TV and just, you know, until I get to the end of my row, and then I need to look to like back up on myself. But yeah, I haven't really had a couple of hours free in a long time. But yeah, I still make jewellery, and I'm still into buying fine jewellery. Kim Dividu has said, What are you most excited about for your new home? Love your content over here in America. Kim, I'm looking forward to like just a change of scenery. We want like just a fresh house, fresh area. We love that challenge. You know, when you move in somewhere and it needs like bits doing to it. Things you can do, like not things you have to pay someone else to do. That's no fun, because then you're paying somebody else to do boring stuff. I mean, like, Louis gonna bark. That's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to the DIY element and to renovating what we're currently going through the process of buying, because what we're looking at does need a bit of work. Now, we've bought places in the past that have needed a bit of work, and one place needed quite a lot of work, and we lived there while the work was being done, and that was actually a massive learning curve and a massive mistake. Like getting up at 6 every morning because the builders were going to be there at 7, and no carpets on the floor, and you know that gripper stuff with the spikes that the carpet hooks into, all that being exposed, which is dangerous. All your furniture being in like the middle of the room with dust sheets over it. We lived like that for a couple of, like, at least a month, maybe 2 months, and it was no fun. So we don't want to do that again. Definitely don't want to do that again. We might have to do that again though. Okay, the next one is from Cod Ratash. Are you in need of any other operations on your foot? Sounds scary. Thank you. Oh, Codrata. Thank God, no. Well, so what happened was I had the last operation at the end of December, and then I got the results back at the end of January, and they said, right, this was pathology. They were like, oh, okay, we tested the tissue that we took out in the second operation, and we can confirm it was all scar tissue. There was no remnants left over from the mole that was there originally. But I'm looking at moles so differently now on myself. Like, I didn't really used to think about them before, because in my mind I thought, oh, I know this is really stupid now, but I thought, oh, if you're going to get cancer, skin cancer is the most tame, because you just remove the mole. No, you don't. Like, melanoma can spread into other parts of your body if you leave it unknowingly. I don't want to scare anyone. But this is all what I was told, and the doctor I saw, I said to him, would I know if I've got cancer elsewhere now from this mole? And he was like, no, you wouldn't, because it's so early days. You wouldn't know if it had spread, and that's terrifying, that. But I'm so relieved. I'm so relieved that's done. That was like the best news this year. The next one is from Plupin. You don't want to answer because it might be private. Oh, hang on, you've put, what areas did you consider before choosing where to live? Totally understand if you don't want to answer because it might be private. I'm not going to say the areas because that would be foolish. Even the areas we were looking at, we looked at many areas, areas that are quite a while away from London, and we wanted to move into the countryside, so that's what we've done. And yeah, so I know that doesn't give it away, and I'm sorry, and I hope you can understand. The next one has said, this is from Zaka12. Have you ever had toxic friends in your life you cut out and didn't feel guilty of? Yeah, I think we've all had that, haven't we? Cole H123. What are your plans since you've moved, Sophie? Colleen, what are my plans? The plans really are to just throw ourselves into doing up this place, and if you want more information on the place, go and watch my Patreon. I'll link to it below, because I talk in a lot more detail over there. April Danielle, can you do a house tour of your current house after you move? Right, I've really thought about this because a few of you have asked, but we don't know what's going to go on, and I don't want to do a house tour, put it out there, and then it bite me on the butt. So no, I'm not going to do that. And I hope you can understand. I hope you can understand. Hera NP. Hi, I've been watching your YouTube now for years. What are some things you avoid from a home purchase? Right, the thing that I would always say is, when you're buying a home, make sure you pay for the top level surveyor. So in a place we bought many years ago, we didn't do that. And we paid for like a more basic, we paid for a more basic level of survey survey, and loads of things were missed. And you can miss things like local flooding, damage to the property, you know, etc. This time round, we're like, oh, let's learn from the last time and pay for like the top tier one. And it's scary, you know, because well, it's not scary. I mean, it is. It's disappointing when they find loads of things wrong with a place and you've set your heart on it, and then you find out it's going to be like 50k to go and fix all of the bits and pieces. So, what was the question? What was the question? Things to avoid. Yeah, don't skimp on the survey. HR Vatica 596. Sophie, any tips on financial growth when you don't earn a lot? Amy, do you know what? I've been there. I have been there, Amy, and anyone else watching. I have worked in places, not joking, where the monthly salary was less than my outgoing bills. So every month I was getting into debt. I wasn't even shopping at that point. I was just racking up more and more and more debt because I couldn't cover my bills. Like, if my bills were £1,200, I was literally earning 900 at the time. And what do? And I was stuck in that job nearly 3 years. I came out of that job in so much debt. Like, I probably would have been better off signing on and not even working because I was in such a pickle, but I wanted to, you know, to work. And what I would say, Amy, and it's not easy, but this is what worked for me. You have to climb up that ladder. You have to, and it can be difficult. Like, if you're a working parent, if you're, you know, working in a certain sector, that can be very difficult to climb up. I'm not saying it's easy. It is not. It took me years. But I would say to focus on climbing your career ladder, whatever sector you're in, because that is the only way you're going to start earning more money and getting yourself out of that situation. It's the only way. Because, you know, I could sit here and go, oh, don't shop, don't buy anything. But that's somewhat unrealistic. Even people that are really into saving go and buy something every so often, even if it's dinner out or a holiday or whatever. You can't, I don't think it's realistic to go through life and scrimp and scrape. You're going to fall off the wagon. You know, as human beings, you're going to get to a point one day where you're like, oh my God, I've been working literally 12 months. I've done nothing for myself. I'm going to go and buy the lipstick. You know, it's going to happen. So climb the ladder is what I would say. Karen Brumchick. Hi, Sophie. Haven't seen you use your Lorna bag for a while. Is it a regret? It's actually up there. No, it's not a regret. There are other bags I've been using more recently, but no, it's not a regret. I absolutely love that bag. I would recommend that bag, although their prices have gone up, but still worth it based on the fact that it's like bespoke. You can pick the colours. Mel Riddle, love you. Are there special bags you keep, although never used, but you would never sell? I've got a few Chanel bags that are like this. Bags that have got real sentimental value for me, but I don't use them. And I probably won't ever sell them, but I don't use them. And I don't use them because of the colours that they are. I really like pinks. And they're quite expensive bags. I bought these 2 Chanel bags in pale pink. I'm just terrified of dye transfer, so I don't use them, but I need to. Maybe in the summer when I can wear lighter clothes, I will. Oh, this is Wendy. Love you, Wendy. How are the bunnies doing? Are they used to Louis being around? Right, so the bunnies are great, but what's really annoying, so when we first got Louis, our Pomeranian, he was smaller than them, so he didn't stand a chance, and they really can stick up for themselves. If you've had rabbits before, you'll know they can be quite feisty, you know. So we never really worried, but now Louis's got bigger than them. He's fine with Jessie, but with Jessie's quite old now and she doesn't really move around that much. She just kind of sits there and looks at you for food. She's very cute. Lola darts around all over the place and buzzes around and is really quick, and it winds Louis up. I think it's like his predator. It does something. So we have to keep them both separate, and it's not pretty. We've got like cages we're having to use now. We don't cage her in and we don't cage him in, but we've got like a strip of cage that we separate down the kitchen. so that he can't get to her and she can't get to him. And it's not attractive and it's not ideal. But to be honest, when we got him, I did have a feeling this was going to happen, so I don't regret it at all. You just have to be very careful when you're mixing like rabbits with dogs or cats. You do have to keep an eye on them. You can't leave them on their own together at all. As I say, Louis fine with Jessie, but I think it's because she doesn't buzz around. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Lola's nervous of Louis because he barks at her, because she's moving around so quick. Jessie is old and wise and just thinks he's a complete idiot, to be honest. And whenever he goes up to her, she smacks him. She does that on his nose. And he's like, oh! And then he backs off. Jessie is a feisty one. She's the one I told you about. She's very grumpy. She's very cute, but she's a very grumpy girl. Always has been. The next one is from Rose Elliott. I miss your viewer mail segments. Would you ever consider doing them again? Rose, I know, I really miss them as well. So what used to happen is, years and years and years ago, I used to have a PO box. And you guys used to write to me and I used to read out your mail. And it was so lovely. And do you know, I have still got in this house a box full of every piece of correspondence you guys ever sent me. I'm not joking. Every letter that you all sent me, I kept. I've got all of it. And I will never get rid of it because it means so much to me that you took the time to write to me in the first place. I stopped doing the mail segments because I got rid of the PO box. I got rid of the PO box because it was rubbish. It was £500 plus tax a year. And it was fine at the beginning, but what started happening is I'd get some of you guys emailing me and you'd be really angry at me and you'd be like, why did you reject my mail? I wrote to you or I sent you a parcel and you returned it to me. And I'd be like, I didn't return it to you. The PO box office did, and I didn't know why they were doing it. And they gave me like some lame excuses, but then they were denying it. And then they were like, oh, some of the packages are too big for the box that you've paid for. And if you want to expect packages that size, you got to upgrade the box. And like, you guys were so kind sending me packages, but I didn't need packages. Like I was totally there for your letters. So all this started happening, and just in general, they really annoyed me. So I shut down the PO box and I don't have it anymore. So that's why I don't do it. That's why I don't do it. We could try like an email one though, where you email me maybe and I read out your mail that way. Because some of you used to write to me actually with like really interesting like life conundrums that affect a lot of people, and you talk about your conundrum and like want to get my input on it, and I thought that was good for a lot of people. Chichio Blue, do you ever get anxiety and how do you deal with it? Yeah, I do. I think a lot of people do. How do I deal with it? I will be honest, I tend to recluse myself when I get it. I go away and I worry somewhere about life. I think, as I say, I think a lot of people get it. I think a lot of people don't admit to it. A lot of people get it and don't know what it is, and they don't know a name to assign to it. I know so many of my friends get it. I only know one person who doesn't get it, and she said to me once, she was like, I don't understand. Can you imagine this? She was like, I don't get anxiety and I don't understand how it feels. Can you explain it? So I explained it, and she sat there and she listened for a moment, and she was like, how do you live like that? And I was like, well, I don't have it all the time. It just comes and goes as it can do. And I've always had it. It's not like a new thing at all. I had it when I was a teenager, you know, just like worrying about all sorts of bits and bobs. But I also do lots of exercise. So when I'm anxious, I like running. I hate running normally. I find it boring and annoying. But when I'm anxious, if I run, it gets rid of the anxious energy and it really works. You also said, I purchased my first diamond, 20.10 cut emerald cut. No, that can't be right. 20 carats. I can't wait to design the setting. Oh my God, how exciting. Message me. I want to know how you're going to set this. I'd be really interesting. I love fine jewellery. You've also said, any chance you could name a brand or campaign you've worked on or created? Name a brand or campaign? Do you mean like YouTube?
Okay, I'll talk about like a work one. So I've worked with loads of brands, like loads of blue chip brands through to small brands, you like one-man band people kind of thing. And that's really how I got started in this, is because there's a lot of one-man band people who don't have the budget for a massive agency, but they want branding, or they want, you know, content, or they want, you know, whatever, marketing materials in general. And that's how I got into this, because I would have people on the side contact me and they'd be like, I need a website doing, I need branding created, I can't afford the agency you're working at, but could you do it? And that's how I started. And then they tell their friends, and then their friends would tell their friends, and then word spreads. But one of my most fun projects I think I worked on, I've done stuff for Ernst & Young, EY. I actually was thinking about applying to work there because I really got the vibe. You know, they're at Tower Bridge, Tower of London kind of area, in London, yeah. But I worked on a project with Heathrow where, this was a few years ago now, where we looked at their logo. So their logo needed redesigning. I don't want to say too much because like it was like confidential or whatever, but we worked on their logo and then came up with all of the content you see around the airport now. So for any of you who've travelled through Heathrow, you know how they've got those big posters of like beef eaters and stuff saying welcome to London and welcome to Heathrow, and people in costume and like very British. We did all of that. And whenever I go through Heathrow and I see all of that, or I see the logo, I'm like, oh my God, I worked on that. And that was like so much fun, because not a lot of what I do is B2B, so I don't see it out in the public sphere, but that was like a B2C thing and like a rebranding thing, and that was really fun. And that took a long time. That was like a good 6 months to a year to do that. Like rebranding on a big company can take that long. Dior, this is from you as well. At first glance, I love the collection, but it already feels dated to me. I kind of get what you mean. Like when that collection first came out, the Jonathan Anderson collection, I was like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this. And now that I've seen it a bunch of times, I'm like, nah, don't really want it anymore. This is how I feel. You've also said wall paneling, yes or no? Do you know, I do think it's a trend, but I probably will do it. We've got it in one room, but in the new place, I think we're thinking about doing it. And the way I see it is, when it gets dated and it looks naff, I'll just take it down. So yeah, why not? Why not? You've also said, what home decor trend do you not like, and which trend do you like? Well, this is interesting because I follow a lot of home accounts on Instagram, and I screenshot. I'm always screenshotting like inspo of things that people have done. And at first, I was gonna go, I mean, we've done it here. I was gonna go down the whole like millennial grey thing, like grey walls. Like you can make a room look like you've gone colourblind if you go too grey. I want some colour, but anyway, we went to visit some of our neighbours a couple of weeks ago, and they live in this stunning place, like beautiful. And I walked in and it was like white walls, but huge pop art canvases. Like, do you know what pop art is? Okay, so I studied Roy Lichtenstein when I was like doing A-level and stuff. And pop art is like a genre of art where you use primary colours, and it's all very like fresh, and like it's not like a Monet, you know. I'll put some examples in here. And I walk into this place and they've got like massive canvases. It doesn't look millennial at all. It looked like a little bit 1960s, but in a really modern way. I can't describe it. And David and I walked in and we were like, oh my God, like looking around the place. And what they'd done with it was just amazing. And it's made me change my mind on how we're going to decorate the place. And a lot of the canvases that we've got here, I'm probably not going to put them up because they are a bit millennial now. I think I want to go for like the bright colour theme, like the creamy white walls, off-white, panelling, but big, bright canvases, and I think I'm going to do that. And I'm expecting on the internet for people to be like, what is that? Because I think when you see a certain trend over and over, that becomes normal, and anything outside the box can feel a bit like niche. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Adele 1025. Will you add designer home pieces when you move? Example, Hermes pillows, etc. I don't know. I do like that kind of thing, but I'm like, how much is a pillow from there? Like £1,000? I mean, that's a dining room table. I don't know. And also, if you like that, you know, the Hermes cushions and the throws, if you like that but you don't want to spend that money, go and have a look at Holland Cooper. Holland Cooper do their own. It looks the same, it's just a different logo. So if you like that vibe but you're like, oh, I can't do £1,000 on one cushion, it's crazy, then go and have a look there. Kelly M 1030, most used bag ever. Gotta be my matte black, ultra black, whatever it's called, Lady Dior. I've used it to death. Lynn's Lovely Things. Did you ever buy the Gucci Giglio? I think that's how you pronounce it. No, I didn't. I returned it. Some of you did say maybe I should have got it in the larger size because then it's not so crumpled, but no, I didn't get it. But you know what? Oh my word. I said I was over logos, but have you seen the Gucci comeback? I don't know if you've seen any of this on Instagram and TikTok, but the new collections from there, it's logo mad, but the cut is impeccable. And I'm actually looking at pieces smothered in logos and I'm like, I would actually wear that. So watch this space. Maybe I'll backtrack and go back to logos again. Dyrillian Landin. Sorry, I'm sure I've pronounced that wrong. Oh, you said, are you still using your current body RF device? Can you give us an update on your results? And the new Qualerex Beauty products, the Vitamin C, Radiant Lift and Flawless Whisper. Sorry, I had to shorten the questions to a minimum. Yeah, I know, because Instagram cuts them off. Yeah, I'm still using my device. And actually, I've just started using their body panel. So if you have, so you can use this for 3 different things. It works for acne on the body, so if you have back acne or anything. It works for anti-aging, so if you've got like sagging skin around your knees or abdomen, if you've had a baby, etc. It helps to improve that. It helps to improve scars, but it also aids recovery. And I was saying in my Patreon video last week, I think, I had a car accident many years ago and it's given me a disc bulge and I get really bad back pain, upper back pain. And that's what I'm using this for at the moment. It comes on a stand, or you can take it off the stand and like it molds. It's got like wire in it, so you can bend it. And you can like mold it to fit your body, and you just leave it on for like between 10 and 20 minutes, depending on the set. I'm still using the RF device. I will never stop using that. It works so well. I do feel like I want to start using it here, on that little bit under there, because at the moment I use it here and here, and on my cheeks. But because I do like 10 to 15 minutes per area, I'm there for ages. That's the only downside to it. They say to use it 5 minutes per area, but to get my results, I've been using it 10 to 12 minutes per area. And that's how I've got the results that I've got. And it's really tightened up this area here and lifted sort of the cheek area, but I do want to use it under there. Yeah, Qualerex is a fantastic brand. I'll link to Qualerex Beauty below. So this is a subscriber-owned beauty brand. Christina is the creator of the products. She makes them all herself, and they work. And I'm really hooked on the facial mist, the exfoliating toner pads, which mean I don't use an AHA, BHA, and also her eye serum is brilliant. Gavin has said, are you going to bother with a fancy walk-in wardrobe in the new house, or are you going to keep it simple? I am going to have a walk-in wardrobe. I just don't know how it's going to look at the moment because I haven't made a final decision on which room it's going to go in, but I am going to do a walk-in wardrobe. I've decided I don't want to have an island in the walk-in wardrobe because I want to film in that room, and if I have an island, it just takes up room. Well, I don't know. Until I get in there, I don't know, but I will do something because I've got so much stuff. It needs to go somewhere. Di Gamaroff, love you, has said, Would you ever try and get a leather appointment in Hermes Paris? Almost, I think you've said almost everyone gets offered a bag there. I don't know. I feel like I've got what I want. The only thing I would like is a bright pink picotin, and one of you in Australia actually sent me a link to one that was for sale over there the other day, but the customs fees were crazy. So, I don't know. I mean, if I got offered, okay, if they offered me a Birkin 25, how would I feel? I'd probably be like, oh my God, you've offered me this. This is a bit weird. Would I buy it? I don't know. I don't know. It's not a bag that's playing on my mind night and day, put it that way. But it's a bag that maybe in the future I will change my mind on. But right now, unless it was in like some funky colour, if it was in like some bright colour, maybe I would go, okay, you've turned my head, because I like colourful. If it was just like black or something, that's a bit boring for me. I know that that's very classic, but for me, I probably wouldn't bother. KL Fife, love you as well. Hello friend, excited to hear more about the house move. Love to you and David, thank you so much. Wing shops a lot. Visiting the UK in December, what is a must to do in London? Oh, I hope you have the nicest time. In December, you're gonna have like Christmas time. So I would say go to South Bank, which is near Waterloo Station. And it's walking distance, like you can walk to Big Ben from there. If you keep walking, you can get to like Chinatown and Soho. But along that area, South Bank, it's kind of like under these bridges along the side of the river. And at Christmas, it's like a Christmas market there, and they do gorgeous food like hot chocolates, mulled wine, all sorts of like amazing food. But also there are Christmas markets in the likes of Leicester Square. Now, I've been to the Christmas markets there. They're okay, but they're not. You've got to be worried about pickpockets, okay? That is what I would say. So if you're going to go to the Christmas markets, just keep your wits about you. Anywhere you go, keep your wits about you. But yeah, they're worth going to. They are worth going to. And also Liberty of London is another good one. Covent Garden. I feel like lots of people forget Covent Garden. Covent Garden is worth looking at, and they've got a really nice Christmas decoration area as well, and like a little market there too. So that's what I would say about that. We got a few more questions, well, quite a lot more, so I hope you're chill. Gail Louise N, are you going to bring back your in the car videos, food shopping, etc. with David again? Oh, I know, on my second channel, I need to. I just haven't had the time. And we're doing food shopping online at the moment because no one's got the time to go out and buy food. So I will eventually. Venus 81000. What's your typical day like now that you and David are retired? I think, okay, so I get up, walk the dog, come back, have breakfast, have coffee. Then I'm throwing myself into YouTube. YouTube's got quite busy for me now, so that's kind of filling up a lot of my time. Then obviously we're going through this house purchase thing, so that's taking up quite a lot of time as well. And then hopefully, like, once we get in there, we're going to be even more busy doing the place up. So it's, even though I'm not working now full time, yeah, it's still quite busy. Daniel Mel B, do you like books? What are some of your favorites? Do you know, I don't like books. That's a bad thing to say. When I read a book, my mind wanders every time. Like, so I'll sit down with a book and I'm reading the words, but I'm not taking in the story. I'm like, oh, should I put some washing on right now? What's the dog doing? Oh, shall I go and get a coffee? Like, my mind wanders. But there is a book that I really like. It's, and I've told you about it before. It's by Robbie Louis Stevenson. It's like like you'd read it in English literature, basically. It's called The Bottle Imp. And here's what it's about, okay, in short. This guy, I can't remember how he acquires it, but he gets given a bottle, right? And it's got a cork in the top, and it's got like a little ghost inside it, like an imp. And the deal is, if you have this bottle in your possession, you can wish for whatever you want in the world. But if you die and you still own the bottle, you go to hell, like you sold your soul to the devil. So what you have to do is you have to wish for everything you want, Then to get rid of the bottle, you've got to sell it to the next person for less than you paid for it. But the deal is you have to tell them the truth about how it works. You can't like misjudge it and sell it to someone and not tell them, by the way, you need to ditch this bottle ASAP. So this guy gets it to make this woman fall in love with him, and he wants to get like a beautiful house on the hill and make this woman fall in love with him. And he sells the bottle, and then years later she gets cancer, and he knows he needs to find the bottle in order to make her better. So he finds the bottle. By this point it's been sold for like 2p or 1p or something, 1p. So he gets the bottle back. He doesn't really want to do it, but he's like, I need my wife to be better. So he gets the bottle back, wishes her better. She's now fine. But he can't sell the bottle because everyone he tells to knows they're going to get stitched up with it, because there is no coin smaller than 1p, okay, in the UK or wherever he was. So he lives with this bottle. He shoves it in the attic and he hides it there for years. And he gets more and more depressed, and he didn't tell his wife what he'd done, and she's like, what's wrong with you? I'm worried about you. He gets more frail, he can't eat, he's getting very sick. And he just thinks one day, I need to do something with this. So he goes, I think as I remember it, he meets this drunken guy who wants more and more and more alcohol. And he ends up selling the bottle to this drunken guy. And this drunken guy, he says to him, by the way, you're never going to get rid of this. You're going to die with this bottle. But the drunken guy doesn't care, because he just wants more drinks. So where the drunken guy's from, because he's like a fisherman or something, he's like travelled there, he has half a p in his currency that doesn't exist in the owner's currency. So he is able to sell it for half a pence and get rid of it. But then that weighs on his mind after, because he's like, I've basically sentenced someone to eternity in hell. And it was a really interesting story, and it makes you think, if someone gave me that bottle and I could wish for anything in the world as much as I want, would I do it? I personally would not, because you're dicing with the devil, but let me know what you think. Would you do it? Would you do it? Essay Taskiran. Dear Sophie, do you consider buying a stroller for Louis to keep on doing your long walks with David? I did think about it, but you know what? Louis's got quite big. He's got bigger than his parents looked. They were his parents. We did double check. We got his like birth certificate through from the Kennel Club, and it's got his lineage on it and all that kind of thing. But he's got quite big. Apparently he's called a throwback Pomeranian, which is where it's like a genetic thing where they come from larger dogs, right? They're bred from larger dogs, and he's more like medium size now. He's not huge, but he's like medium size. I don't think he'd sit in a stroller. He is quite feisty, and I don't want to buy a stroller and then I can't return it and it's like junk around the house and he won't use it anyway. But it's a good idea. Renee has said, what style would your new house be? Can't wait to see your projects. As I said earlier, I think I'm going to try and make it like pop art, quite like art deco, colour. I love colour. I love colour. Dossier HA, any travel plans this year? Probably not. Probably not, just because of the house. We want to pour all of our money into that, even though I would love a trip away, but probably not. Blah, 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 I said, can only afford a flat, unfortunately. That was us. Years ago. That's where we started. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. And flats are nice. You've also said, about to buy a flat. What do you think about leasehold? Worry about losing money, but can only afford that. I don't know much about leasehold. Don't you pay a service charge if you're leasehold? I've never lived in a leasehold, so I'm not sure. But you know what? If it's within budget, go for it. I mean, as I say, I don't know much about leasehold. David probably knows a lot more about it than me. LC Ellie. Just want to say, can't wait for your interiors content. I'm all for it. Best wishes to you and David. Well, I hope you enjoy watching it. April X Hughes. Anything in your wish list for 2026? No. Not actually, no. furniture. That's what's in my wish list. You've also said, how do you feel about the price increases in luxury handbags now compared to 7 or 8 years ago? It's insane. These prices are crazy. Kaylee Tasker, love you. I love all of you. Do you have a plan for what to do now you are retired? Any trips planned or experiences? Just honestly, as I've said, like, even though we're retired now, I'm still doing like a bit of consultancy here and there, but even though we're by and large retired, it's just, I've been busier since not working than I ever was before. It's been ridiculous. Mako San. After watching Luxury Promise, I have been into gemstones recently. Are you also into it? Yeah, I am. And I keep talking to them because I really want to get a pink tourmaline heart ring, like heart gemstone ring. They got me into it as well. I was never really into gemstones before, and then they started doing gemstones and they were like showing me some of the stones they get. Because Luxury Promise, they sell stones on their own that are not set, or you can pay them to set them into like a necklace or earrings or a ring. I think that's how it goes. And they do really nice stuff. Actually, Terry, you said, are you ever going to do a bag closet tour again, or shoes, just for old time's sake? And would you do an episode on building wealth, just like everyday habits to help? The wardrobe thing, yeah, I will. At the moment, the reason why I haven't shown my current situation with my dressing room is that David renegated me to the smallest room in the house to keep my stuff. And I guess I get why he did it, because we want to use the other rooms for other things. But this small room, it's got fitted wardrobes, right? It's all done nice. But I've got 2 massive freestanding clothes rails in there, full of clothes. Full of clothes. You can hardly get in the room. Hardly. And I'm not going to film that situation because that is a hot mess. It doesn't look nice. It looks awful. I hate that room. It's very depressing. And that's why where we're moving to, the room I'm going to nab for myself. David's like, can you not? But I'm like, no, I'm going to have that room for myself. That's a bigger room that's going to have the fitted wardrobes. So once I get in there and it's all laid out and it's nicer, yes, I will do a bit of a handbag, shoes thing. And I can definitely do videos on building wealth. I've done videos before on what's really worked for me. I'm just nervous about going too in depth because I'm not a financial expert, and what has worked for us and what has not worked for us, you know, we've made mistakes. I don't want to share that and then someone copies it and it goes terribly wrong for you. So that's why I've never really dabbled too far in that. Young Carol, this is the final question. Now that you are both retired, how do you keep yourself busy? As I say, it's just like, how do we keep ourselves busy? The dog is just insane because you're walking him like every couple of hours. The gym, going out with friends. We have been going out so much recently, seeing people. Like, we're out again next weekend. We're out next Tuesday. We're going out next Tuesday to have dinner with some people. I've got a lot more free time now, as has David, to go and see people and be social, and it's really nice. Whereas before, we were kind of slightly recluse. All we did was work every hour of the day, even weekends, because I had YouTube, I had to work the weekends. Now I actually get weekends off, whereas I didn't really get that before. Anyway, the battery's about to run out and this video is really long, so I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.